This program has been paid for by Strather Academy, creating developers within our communities.
Hello, Detroiters. This is Herb Strather on Wealth and Development. Good morning. I'll tell you something. Today, we're going to have a great show. I have two very special guests. One is the immediate past president of the Detroit Association of Realtors, and the other is the newly elected president of the Detroit Association of Realtors, with a similar agenda. We're going to talk about the history of the Detroit Association of Realtors, the present reality, and the future, and how they're going to impact our future. This impacts all of us, because you'll be happy to know that DAR, as we call it, which I am a member of, has been a fighter and an advocacy. And I have here my main man, Dorian Harvey.
Hello, Herb. Thanks for having me.
Dorian, I just want to tell you, man.
Happy New Year's.
No, you was a hell of a president.
Thank you, man.
You set a very serious agenda, and we're going to get in it and talk about it.
I appreciate it.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to call all your friends up. Run and get you a cup of coffee and get ready, because you don't want to miss any of this. We're going to have a great show, and I got to tell you, there may be some surprises. So I want you to hang on. I want you to go get the coffee. I want you to get relaxed, and we will be back to you in a couple of minutes.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I groomed the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
All right, this is Herb Strather. I'm back with you. As I indicated, I have Dorian Harvey. Dorian is the immediate past president of the Detroit Association of Realtors. And I'd like to just get in it with you, Dorian.
Come on, let's go.
Dorian, first of all, tell the audience here what the history of DAR is. DAR, Detroit Association of Realtors.
Absolutely. Founded in 1890. It's a trade organization for the local real estate agents.
Okay.
It is also up under the Michigan Association of Realtors, or Michigan Realtors, and that all falls under the National Association of Realtors, which is the largest trade organization in the United States.
Really?
And that's leverage if you use it.
Okay.
Right? So DAR, interesting, Herb, DAR was established as the Detroit Board of Realtors, and some of the same challenges they had in 1890.
Yeah, we have today.
Absolutely. Some of the same challenges they had during the Great Recession or Depression,
What role did they play?
Well, number one, absolutely. Times. Number one, they were advocates towards the proper procedure of foreclosures. They recognized back then that certain foreclosures were illegal, were not following the proper processes, notifications. They also recognized where the properties were undervalued in Detroit. They also recognized that housing, they had an issue with rental. They had a large population of renters that they were trying to convert into homeowners.
Oh,
right?
wow.
The difference was the demographics of the people.
Right.
Right. So this organization, nobody on DAR looked like you and I.
Back then.
Absolutely. But yet they still dealt with the same human issues and economic issues that we're dealing with today. Now, how do we deal with those issues is important.
Well, we have a different set of issues, too, today, right? I mean, in other words...
Well, no, they had lack of job, lack of diversification.
Okay.
They had lack of education, lack of economic opportunities. They had some of the same identical issues. It's just a different population.
Okay, I can understand they've been a different population. And also, right now, history is being made right now because we're in a very transitional period of
Absolutely.
time in our communities. And where we put our emphasis at will determine what communities grow the most. You understand?
Yeah.
And so DAR is an advocate for homeowners. Is that true?
Absolutely. DAR is an advocate for homeowners and investors and policies and legislation that affects the ability to buy, sell. You understand, real estate is a mechanism to move up economically in a capitalist society.
Okay.
It is probably one of the easiest mechanisms that can move a individual or a family from poverty into wealth.
Well, it is certainly the biggest asset that most people have in their lifetime, the equity in their homes.
It
right?
could be if they have the ability to own it.
Right, Dorian, and today it's easy to own homes because of NACA, Detroit Home Mortgage, and Chemical Bank. I mean, many of the lenders have reached out with very, very specialized programs to help homeowners. Dorian, one of the things that we hear most is many Detroiters are afraid they're losing their equity. And in many cases, that is the case. You know, Detroiters are concerned about essentially being disenfranchised. You understand? Do you hear that?
Oh, absolutely. And I just want to back up. Yes, there are tools and mechanisms to help us in home ownership. However, you still have some of the economic and social issues that plague you. Number one, jobs. If you have no job, right, you can't buy real estate. You can't qualify, right? If we don't have job training, then you have no job. So I'm interesting. I sat amongst a panel of folks yesterday with Future Cities, and the discussion was all on economics, how the equity and the cost of rehabilitating 100-year-old homes, but yet they could only get $700 and $800 rents.
Well, I can understand that you may have some differential in some of these opportunities, but the prices in many of these older homes have went up 1,000%. What it used to cost $25,000 could easily cost you $250,000 now. Like Cass Corridor, 48201 zip code, back just 8 years ago was the second poorest zip code in the state of Michigan with 48.93% poverty rate. There was only one zip code that was poor, and that was, I think, somewhere called Temperance, Michigan. It had about 165 families in the whole county. I figured it was one family on welfare or something. But the point is that right now, look at 4201.
Yeah.
It is the hottest spot. So
yeah, but look who is drawing, though. You know what I mean? That's not happening in all of our communities around the city.
Well, this is what I really like to get into, DAR's relevancy. Now, when we came out of bankruptcy, we had $1.5 billion, the city, and no debt. What city in America sit on $1.5 billion and no debt? So the question is this money and this influence that we have, with the charitable foundations and all, are they funneling this here to bring about a melting pot, or are they funneling it in just communities maybe where white people or Europeans are moving and not in the adjacent communities? I am concerned.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is what we're hearing, and this is what we have
Absolutely.
Have you heard this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. You know, they're taking areas that appeal and ignoring areas that are in existence. And what we have to do is, as DAR, number one, we have to fight that policy and legislation. We got to hold our politicians accountable, number one, to funnel those funds and resources into our community. But at the same time, we've got to be entrepreneurial. See, I grew up with I had a great-great-great-grandmother who couldn't read or write. But yet, because of the role she played in Black Bottom, she created value. And that's the key. We have to. You got to play both sides of the table. And I'm so blessed that I had the opportunity to be the president of the Detroit Association of Realtors. Prior to that, being a private business owner, I only saw one side of the table, although I felt the other side. But as the president of Detroit Association of Realtors, I got a chance to listen to all the stakeholders, the city, the community,
right,
the realtors,
right,
the brokers, right? And from that, I was able to assess what our issues were. And from that, I know that if we go back to how we've done business in the past, we can overcome it. And that is our ability to bring value. One thing about it is we have, I always said, listen, our folks took pig intestines and turned them into a delicacy. We can do the same thing in our communities.
Right, but the question is going to become, how do we really get to do that? Because we have to influence our politicians, but we can get involved. Now, you mentioned about this being smart. For example, let's give an example. Let's take Russell Woods. So the Neighborhood Strategic Fund, that's one of the areas it funds.
Right.
Specifically, it doesn't go east of Dexter.
Right.
Well, Dexter, I mean, why not take it to Linwood?
Right.
So that we understand and we got it.
Right.
That that Russell Woods is a very hot place and the values have doubled in Russell Woods. But don't you want some of that to spill over between Dexter and Linwood?
Absolutely.
Too? Can't we take that opportunity, DART leading the way, advocacy,
absolutely,
in terms of making sure that this spreads?
Absolutely.
And let me say this here. Dorian, I know that you've done a great job because I've sat on the board and I've watched you.
Thank you.
You've laid the foundation and you made me very, very much aware, of DAR's history and where we want to go. And you've laid a great foundation. And each year, we get a new president, and you've laid the foundation for where we are at now, and at least brought us and say, open up your eyes, let's roll up our sleeves, let's fight. Some of the things you've talked about was, the citizens getting involved.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And what
we have to have inclusion, and that's what's good. And that's where we are today. We must have inclusion. If you do not include the community in these ideas, I'm sitting at tables. I had an opportunity yesterday. I'm sitting at tables with limited stakeholders, more so the investment side of it, but not the consumer side. And they're complaining about the consumer side, but not the consumer is not represented. That's the role that DAR has to play.
And so we need to take and get those involved, the community involved, and we need to have other realtors that are related to Detroit to get involved with DAR. Even if they're with another association, they should join DAR because we have our own special magic. I mean, the issues that we have in Detroit and opportunities, hardly nowhere in the world have them.
Right.
And so.
And Herb, you and I can go at this conversation. I love your passion, but let me tell you something. I'm done talking about it. I want to bring value to our community. We did it in Black Bottom. We have that ability to bring an attraction, and we use the talents and skill sets. So, for example, I launched a consulting firm after leaving DAR, right? Mm-hmm. We're not supposed to profit from that position as president, so I hate to tell Jeff that. Don't tell Jeff that.
Well, Jeff will be here in a minute.
I know, but but we're not supposed to profit from that position. But because I had the ability to make those certain assessments and see what the needs of the community are and what the needs of the stakeholders are, I formed a consulting firm and I've revamped my own.
Tell us about the consulting firm.
My consulting firm will help portfolio holders of 5 or more properties assess their portfolios. Number 1, dealing with blight ticket violations. Number 2, falling into compliance with the city of Detroit. Number 3, evaluating their tenants. Some of these tenants are ready to buy.
Right.
They just don't know it.
And there's programs you can put them
Absolutely.
into.
They just don't know.
Programs that does not require credit,
That's
down
right.
payment,
That's right.
or closing costs.
So we're doing those assessments for these portfolio holders who, by the way, have bought their properties in bundles.
Oh.
A lot of our largest portfolio holders in single family in the city of Detroit are non-Michigan, non-Detroit residents, non-United States citizens.
Well,
right?
Since you've become a specialist, I want you to give the name of your company and the phone number how to
Absolutely.
get a hold of you. Tell our audience how to get a hold
Absolutely.
of you.
you can contact us. If you have a portfolio, this is to the investors and landlords, we want to help you help our community. And we want to do an assessment of your portfolio. And then we'll make recommendations. No strings attached, but it's a benefit to all of us. The name of the company is H&H Property Preservation Consultants. And our number, you can reach us, our preferred broker, of course, is Team Harvey, 248-581-0166, or dial 1-855-9-HARVEY. Get your portfolio assessed so that you can, number one, become profitable and be in compliance with the city of Detroit, which is a blessing to our communities and to us as property owners in the adjacent areas.
Right. Well, that's very, very good, Dorian. Dorian, one of the things I just want to kind of wrap this session up on is your collaboration for developing the developer with DAR, Strather Academy, Wayne County.
Well, that's why I called you on board.
Right. Wayne County in conjunction with DAR and Strather Academy. We're doing Developing the Developer. I believe, John, what is that, the 23rd and 24th?
24th and 25th.
24th and 25th of May. And we are going to be in collaboration with the land banks and with Chemical Bank. We're also going to be in collaboration with 105.9 Mason, my main man. You can always get me there.
Mason in the morning.
And we're going to bring in the stakeholders, the CDFIs, Community Development Financial Institutions. So we're going to bring in hard money lenders and the special opportunities and grants, the affordable leverage housing fund and the neighborhood strategic fund, so people know where to get these monies from. And I just want to thank you so much.
Thank you,
were 100% with the Developing the Developer, block by block is the deal.
That's
Developing the Developer, block by block. And Jeffrey, I understand he's going to pick it up, and we're united and moving forward. Where's Jeff at? Hey, Jeff, come here. This is the new president, everybody. Jeff, my man.
My
come
brother
on
from
in,
another
Jeff.
mother.
Hey, listen here. This is Jeff. He's the new president, and we're all together.
Right.
And we'll be right back with you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Today, I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced House Hunter. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Okay, everyone, we're back. This is Wealth and Development, and I am Herb Strather, and I have as my guest the newly elected president of the Detroit Association of Realtors, my main man, Jeff Holm.
Hey, Herb, thanks for having me here. Great
Thank
to
you,
be
Jeff.
Here. Thank you.
Jeff, you know, you're going to have a really, really exciting year. You're going to continue the legacy, I guess, the foundation. You got some initiatives of your own. You know, the developing the developer, I mean, that's exciting. You know, it's an exciting time.
Very much so. We're very, very excited to be a part of that and your program, and we look forward to this in May, correct?
Yes, it is in May, and we want to get all of the realtors. So those who are realtors, those who join the Detroit Association of Realtors, we want you to particularly to come, and the realtors, they could just call the office and let them know they want to attend. They could call the realtor's office or my office, right?
Yeah, call Herb Strather. You give him your number.
313-444-9691. This is a collaboration with Wayne County Treasurer in conjunction with Detroit Association of Realtors and Strather Academy, and we're going to develop the developer block by block. I mean, our philosophy has been that we can't do one home at a time on the block, right?
Well, that's exactly it. That's all it takes is one home at a time. And you change the neighborhood, one neighborhood at a time.
Yeah.
And that's what you're all about. You know, while a lot of these, developments downtown and whatnot, they get all the accolades. They're doing all the building down here. But it's guys like you who are in the trenches, in the neighborhoods, who are turning these neighborhoods around. That's where it's at.
Well, I'm going to need everybody's help. And as we tackle developing the developer block by block, several of you could join together and do one home. But as long as that block is completed, because it's a dangerous thing to only do one house on a block that got 4 or 5 vacant houses. You know, and the ideal is that we've got to develop houses that a single mother with kids would move on. Now you have to ask that question. Is this a neighborhood, a block that a single mom that have a couple of kids, would she feel comfortable on that block? If there's 4 or 5 boarded up houses on the block, the answer is no. If in the event the whole entire block is done, the answer would be different. It could be very well yes. So we're joining forces by which to advocate that situation.
Absolutely. One of the things we're doing at DAR is we've got a program where we are developing parks in neighborhoods like you're talking about.
Oh, wow.
I mean, one park could help change a neighborhood. You get the kids to play there, and just for the exact type of situation you're talking about, a single mother with kids can send their kids, feel safe in these little parks. We've got a program going on right now, our first one, which we'll announce maybe in a month or so, that we'll be launching this spring. And we're going to do it, like you say, one neighborhood at a time.
Do you feel comfortable saying the name of it yet?
Not yet.
Not yet, but I'm aware of it. It's a very nice park, and it is currently we have an architect we've hired, and we're going to redo it.
Exactly.
And we're going to do an announcement. We won't jump the gun on
do
it.
that.
Well, Jeff, tell us about some of the other initiatives you want to do as your year as president. Any educational things?
Well, educational for sure. We've got, DAR's a unique association. We're small, kind of like a boutique association, I like to call it. And we've got programs designed to do business in Detroit, to do real estate deals in Detroit. And it's not like doing deals in any other community.
Because we got our own unique program.
It's just with its own peculiarities, absolutely.
And some of you may want to know what is so peculiar about Detroit. You know, it's Detroit Association of Realtors. We do deals with NACA. We do deals with Detroit Home Mortgage. Now, Detroit Home Mortgage will loan $75,000 over and above the appraised value of the house. I mean, that's amazing. Can you imagine that? And the community development financial institutions are exclusively Detroit. You got to be within the boundaries on all of them to participate in this commercial lending program. Now, my role this year, thank you very much for pointing me to the marketing and communication.
Absolutely.
And so that's a natural, I guess. My job is to help communicate the message to Detroiters about what we're trying to do. And we're going to try to do some outreach to the young people too?
Absolutely. We've got a program we're establishing with Wayne County Community College that we're trying to encourage young kids to get into the real estate field. There's a lot of opportunities in real estate, as you know, here in Detroit. It's just a matter of getting kids
motivated.
Involved. Exactly, motivated.
Jeff, I want to tell you a story. When I was 18 years old,
okay.
I graduated from Western High as a class president, and I said I wanted to get my mother a home. That was the number one thing when I graduated I wanted to do. And I was able to do such a thing. At 18 years old, I bought my mother a house. Now, I was not old enough, And this is important, parents. I was not old enough to get an FHA loan, so my mother had assigned as my legal guardian, and my sister joined in so we'd have enough money. We had just graduated from high school, and we was able to buy. And so it's been a great experience. At 19, I joined Bowers Realty, which is a DAR member from day one, and she's my mentor. And you know, over the years, I've done a couple $2 billion worth of deals, and we want to be able to take this experience and get our young people involved. Listen, we're having a seminar today. If you're listening, we're having a seminar Saturday today from 10:30 to 12:30. You can get on down here. This is at 15400 Grand River on the corner of Greenfield. And if you should miss us, contact us at stratheracademy.com. We have programs for you to get involved, at least get started. Those of you who would like to get started, I want you to go there. We have free blogs and information you can get. And if you're willing to invest in yourself, we'll invest with you. You understand? Check us out. Get a starter's kit where we can show you how we can harness this equity. You know, Jeff, we have a great opportunity in our city because all of the equity. We got 100,000 vacant houses, and the average value on that is about $40,000 a unit. Do you realize that $40,000 times 100,000 is $4 billion? I got to say that right.
It sure is.
Jeff, we could make 4,000 millionaires.
Exactly.
Isn't that something?
Exactly right. That's the kind of opportunity there is in Detroit right now. It's the hottest market in the country.
It is you hear what Jeff said? Say that one more time.
It is. Detroit is right now the hottest market in the country, real estate-wise.
By definition, we had $1.5 billion in cash coming out of bankruptcy, no debt, 40,000 people wanting to move in our community at one time, and is psychologically depressed. You know what I really love about the opportunity? That the economics are there and the price is low, which is almost impossible to have a strong demand, low inventory, because this is the lowest inventory DAR have had in the, correct?
Oh, absolutely, in a very, very long time.
In other words, this is the lowest inventory we've had since I've been involved as a real estate agent. We have very low available inventory, but look, there's 100,000 houses available that you can get from the land bank. We can get and make happen. So we got to wrap it up, but here's what we want to do. We want to invite you to participate, especially if you are a realtor. And if you are a member of DAR, you have priority. You can sit in the front. So you come and join DAR.
Class here. We generously.
Did you have the office number downtown? Do you remember it off the top? Okay. Hey, you can call me, you can get a hold of me. 313-444-961. 9691. Say it again. 313-444-9691 if you want to participate in DAR and its programs, or joining the Developing the Developer seminar. Developing the Developer block by block. We're going to take 20 blocks, and we're going to take a team of Strather Academy and DAR members and even Wayne County employees, along with Chemical Bank, helping to make it happen. And we're going to develop these 20 blocks. So we want you to become involved in us. We got some other exciting things. Just stay tuned. Jeff,
hey, Herb,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we are inviting the realtors to call us to join DAR, where the dewdrops of mercy shine bright.
This program has been paid for by Strather Academy, creating developers within our communities.